There's a part of dating and connecting that nobody talks about. What it happens when you, as the woman, are seeing somebody and you mess up? Right? Because here's the thing, dating and connecting is a skill set. And a lot of times for my clients, they have not dated in years, or at least haven't been, even if they're dating, they haven't been in any good relationships where they've gotten a chance to practice these skills, to connect, to get past 3 months, to get past 6 months, to get past a year. And sometimes they mess up, sometimes they miss the mark. And it's so funny because funny, not funny, right? But it's one of these things where when they have messed up, that they start spiraling out like, oh, let me fix it, or let me, overcompensate. Let me make him dinner. They start thinking that this is the only opportunity or chance they have at love, or that because I messed up with him, nobody else is coming. And one client said, it took me so long to meet this one. I just want to make it right with him, right? And sometimes there's just not an opportunity to make things right. Even for myself as a business owner, right? Starting a business, well, I've been doing it for several years. It's a learning curve. You're always learning a new skill set. And even this past week, I was telling my client, I was like, I missed 3 sales because I'm learning a new skill set and I didn't quite get it right. Right. I'm working with this new business coach, and I'm really honing in on some of my skills and I missed the mark. And I was like, is it normal? Yes. Does it feel crappy? Yes. But what we have to look at is that these people have come into our lives as our teachers. They were not the final person, because it's like, if he was your husband or your future husband, he would forgive you, right? Same for me. If these were meant to be my clients, they would have been like, okay, she's human, let me just move forward, right? But it doesn't mean that you're not going to get another chance. It just means that you're building a skill set and you're going to make mistakes. And that is the point of why I teach my women deliberate practice, because I'm like, listen, just because the first person you meet in years don't mean that he is the one. Maybe he is, maybe he's not. Normally, it's not. Usually, about the fourth person my clients meet is usually their husband, because we need to practice. We need to build a skill set. We need to feel uncomfortable in knowing that this is not all that is the opportunity, right? We have to get out of a scarcity mindset and really know that we're in abundance, and really know and hone in on the skills of connecting. Even with my husband, I messed up this week, right? Our husbands, and we when we get married, we mess up, we miss the mark sometimes, right? But we have to learn from those mistakes, build boundaries for ourselves, see where we misstepped, and then correct it, right? And I think that's the joy of being married, right? Is that you will mess up. And I'm not talking about a big mess up, right? I'm talking about you say things, you do things, you fall short, right? You don't have 100% to give that day, and then you don't communicate it. Right? And so that person don't know what's going on. And so it is a skill set of building relationships, and it takes time and care, and it takes you knowing that even though you messed up and maybe the relationship ended, right? Maybe this guy with my particular client, this guy, he was like, yeah, no, I just really can't get over that, right? And she was so crushed, and I had to help her come out of that, and really see that here's the lesson that I want you to get out of this, right? It's not about you messing up, but you needed that person in your life so that you can learn this lesson, so you can see where your mind and your heart goes when and it was, I don't want to get into the situation, but when things are not going your way, this is a trigger mark for you. And that is why this situation came up, so that you can deal with this hurt, this pain, this trigger that had nothing to do with him and your reaction to it. We will mess up when we're learning new skills. When I was a wife, and I know I'm telling like 4 different stories here, but when I was a new wife, oh my God, I thought I was the worst wife in the world. Right? I remember this time with my husband, I was responsible for the laundry, and he woke up and he was like, I don't have any clean underwear. for work, and he was really upset. I mean, and I was like all day long tripping off the fact that my husband had to go to work with bad underwear, and I was like, I just don't know how to solve for that, because I'm like, I don't run out of underwear, right? It's like women, we have tons and tons and tons of underwear. I'm like, who runs out of underwear, right? But it was a learning lesson for me. But I'm like, and it was an opportunity for me to grow as a person, to learn as a person. And so it's not you, somebody breaking up with you or you being the one that's messing up as you're building these skills is not the end. That's the point I want to make. It is not the end. It is just an opportunity for you to learn your own boundaries, to learn how your own triggers, to actually give yourself a chance to build the skill without spiraling out, thinking that it's going to be the last chance. No, there's no way you can ever miss out on your husband unless you give up, right? There's no way for me that I'm missing out on my ideal clients because I'm building a new skill set and it didn't come out quite right, right? It's like, oh, that didn't go over right. Oh, that's not how to say that, right? That's not where I'm going to push. Oh, I need to make this process smoother for them, right? It's the same thing when you're building relationships and when you're dating. So just keep learning from and letting these opportunities be a teacher for you. All right, that's all I wanted to share today.